Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And today we're back at Margiela. That's right, guys, the Margiela Replica line. And today I will be talking about a summer fragrance that really caught my attention. The name itself, the fragrance elements and notes, as well as the theme. And I'm sure that if you've heard about it through the internet or a friend or the community, I'm sure that this fragrance has caught your attention as well now that it's pretty hot outside. So today I'm giving you guys the no hype breakdown on this fragrance right here. Let's go. Now before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 26,000 subscribers. So please continue all your support, guys. Deep dive into my over 800 no hype videos. Shop from our affiliate links. That's very helpful to the channel, especially that I do buy a lot of samples as well. And our friends of the channel. Thank you so much for all your support. And the fragrance that I will be talking about today is none other than Margiela Replica's Never Ending Summer. Yes, Margiela Replica Never Ending Summer. If you heard about this, I'm sure you're pretty curious about what this fragrance turned out to be. And the man I gotta thank for this is Jared Miller, one of the best decanters in the game. This actually came with my previous fragrance review, Ocean the Reeve. And so I do want to thank Jared right here, one of the best decanters. He's got a whole list of things, new fragrances that he has. So please hit him up if you would like a decant of this. If you want to try it, get a travel size. I believe it's cheaper than, you know, the retail. Okay, so thank you, Jared. Okay, so what is up with this fragrance right here, Margiela Never Ending Summer? One thing I do like about the Margiela Replica series is that, you know, the themes are amazing. Okay, they're pretty straightforward, attention grabbing. You know, you got jazz club, by the fireplace, was it lazy afternoons, or after the rain, I believe. They're pretty attention grabbing, and a lot of the fragrances, I would say most of them, are aligned to the theme or, you know, the concept of the fragrance. Now this one obviously is going to be about summer, never ending summer, and that in itself is pretty amazing. I think it's a great marketing tactic for those that live in never ending summer, you know, basically hot climates, warm climates, and also of course the summer season right here in America. And you know, I gotta say that this one right here, concept wise, is more focused on the Italian Amalfi Coast vacation, which I think a lot of the summer fragrances are focused on more than the tropical, you know, side of things. This is about, you know, a nice vacation in the Amalfi Coast, and it has elements of that, which I'll discuss later. So that's really what it is, guys. All right, can't wait to tell you all about this fragrance. No hype. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, the latest Margiela Replica fragrance for the summer, never ending summer, guys. Okay, now the highlight of this fragrance is gonna be the Appperol Accord. Now, if you've never been to Italy, Appérol is definitely one of their most famous cocktails that they serve to tourists, I guess. I'm not sure if locals actually drink a lot of Appérol, but for sure, if you are a tourist, you will get some Appérol while you're around, lounging around in Italy. Now, the Appérol is actually a cocktail made of orange and bitter and fruity elements. And of course, you got that bubbly spritz right here. And that's basically what you get right here from the get-go, a nice Appérol Accord that sets the tone for the rest of the fragrance. Now, this fragrance right here, definitely orangey, okay? It's definitely orangey. It's a mix of tangerines, really nice tart tangerines, as well as bitter orange. And there's also grapefruit that I detect right here, and some petitgrain that also has some bitter green and citrusy elements. It's kind of like the green side of things, okay? Now, put together, this gives you this nice bubbly, orangey, but also green and bitter intro that is not only a mood enhancer, it's very fresh and crisp and green, but it is also, in my opinion, a classy tangent. So because it's like an Amalfi Coast type of vacation, that's the theme, of course, they got to go to the classy side of things, kind of like a European themed one. And so that is why this thing smells pretty classy with green bitter elements on top of just, you know, the nice tart tangerines and grapefruit. That is also the mood enhancer right here. And also on top of that, to add to that classiness, this fragrance does have some pepper, some mild spice in the beginning, and that kind of just acts as, you know, kind of like a contrast, a classy contrast right here to create the classiness of this fragrance. And like I said, this is the one right here that will be most likely the thing to grab you. It's gonna be this mood enhancing, classy, spritzy opening, bubbly, and also bitter green opening right here from this Spritz Accord and the pepper. So I quite liked it. Like I said, for me, I like that direct like marketing message to the product. I like that, you know, when they said, okay, it's gonna be Amalfi Coast and it's gonna be about summer, and then you get this uplifting, fresh, crisp, and, you know, green spritzy opening right here. So I like that. You know, I got exactly what they were marketing about in the beginning. Okay, so now let's talk about initial sillage and projection on this one. I had no problems with this. I don't know, some people are talking about the performance of this fragrance, but for me, guys, initial sillage and projection is really out there. I mean, definitely aura scent, lingering scent with some draw-in properties from the pepper. I had no problems right here. I got people to smell me, okay, for the first, like, you know, few hours of wearing this fragrance. Okay, so I wouldn't say it's weak. It's not super strong either, but it's just enough. And I would say also that it's majority really for the mood of the wearer, and maybe you can say people that are kind of around the wearer. So it's not a room dominator in terms of the sillage, but for the wearer, it's definitely going to be consistently strong here in the intro. Okay, so now let's head into the mid of this fragrance. Now, the mid right here has the notes of Earl Grey tea, nutmeg, and cardamom spice. But one thing I will say is that the initial part of the fragrance and the dry down, these are the most potent elements of Never Ending Summer, that it kind of sandwiches this mid right here. Okay, so it doesn't go from the Appperol Orange Spritz Accord into like spicy tea. No, it doesn't. Matter of fact, a lot of the orangey elements still bleed into the mid, and the mid kind of like just catches it with a gradient tea accord, some spices, nutmeg and cardamom, and then it also does blend in with, you know, the dry down of this fragrance as well. So I would say that the mid is kind of like this, you know, sandwiched part where you will still smell the orangey elements. I mean, matter of fact, this fragrance from start to finish, it feels like you're actually smelling the orangey elements throughout. So the mid with the nice tea gradient and some spices just kind of complement the intro, to be honest. It's not like a real different phase in this fragrance Never Ending Summer. And finally, let's go into the dry down right here, guys. And the dry down, like I said, is also a potent element of this fragrance. It does kind of like mix with the mid, that tea mid with the spices. And I would say that the latter part of, you know, the mid to the dry down sets up the sunset. All right, it's kind of like a slow gradient sunset that, you know, you will experience in the Amalfi Coast. If the opening was the bright summery morning, sipping Appérol and cocktails in the day, the dry down, I would say, has more of the gradient sunset ending. And right here in the dry down, the more prominent notes that I really smell is going to be vetiver. You're going to get some patchouli. You're going to get cashmere musk or cashmere wood. And then the sweet element is definitely going to be amber. All right. And the amber, like I said, kind of like it bleeds into the whole thing to where you kind of smell it early, in that the orange and the amber kind of like intertwined together, almost a continuous like sweet smell. Okay, so, you know, for me, start to finish, it smelled like orangey and sweet. Probably again because the honeyed amber kind of continued it on throughout the dry down, guys. But definitely, like I said, because you have cashmere musk, cashmere wood, you do have some vetiver, things get a lot more cozy and comforting throughout the end. But nevertheless, there's still that sweetness from the amber that you will get right here in the Drydown. Okay, so what do I think of this fragrance right here? Maison Margiela Replica Never Ending Summer. I like it. I like it. It's pretty damn straightforward, and it's exactly what I thought it was going to be, with, of course, the minor tuning of a classy tangent. Like I said, Amalfi Coast themed type of fragrance. But in terms of, you know, did it enhance my mood? Did it make me feel like the summer? Did it make me feel joyous wearing this fragrance? Yeah, absolutely. It did all of that. And so it's exactly, you know, as marketed. And I would say that because of that, I think this will be a hit. This will be a nice purchase for a lot of people because of that pretty direct like marketing. There's nothing hidden, there's nothing, you know, really mysterious about it. It gives you exactly what, you know, it says on the marketing. So I quite like the fragrance, and to me this fragrance is definitely going to be a summer grabber. It could be an upscale grabber, but because of those simple orangey bitter elements and some spice, I feel like it's just going to be a grabber. You don't necessarily have to bring it in something really upscale. You can, but it's something that, you know, you want to just wear just because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel energetic and nice in the summer, and even down the line, you know, a few hours down the line, it also makes you feel cozy with a little bit of that sweet smell as well. So I would say usage wise, easy grabber, 100%. And to me, this fragrance is also very unisex. Anyone can wear it, okay? Man, woman, anyone in between. This is more of really a mood type of grabber for the wearer this summer season. Okay, now let's talk about total performance on this one, guys. Total performance to me was actually 11 to 12 hours. So I don't know what they're talking about, you know, about this fragrance being not so strong, lasts only 2 hours. I don't believe it. I have a vial right here. This isn't even the bottle, okay? From this little vial from Jared, I was able to get really nice sillage and projection. Actually, some compliments even. And I would say that the people around me, their moods changed when I was wearing this as well. So that's another thing, okay? So it's not only me, but the mood of people around me changed when I was wearing this one as well. But for me, this one really lasted, I would say like max 11, but every time I try this, I can still smell it past 11. But for me, I would say, you know, safe to say averages, it's 11 hours total performance. Maybe you can say that the strongest part is like up to 6, but then again, past 6, it's really more of that cozy gradient with that light sweetness, like I said. I mean, it's designed for that. It's not supposed to project strong throughout the fragrance, but definitely, guys, the latter part of this Drydown is a gradient sunset Drydown. And finally, let's look into the cost and full bottle worthiness of this fragrance. This fragrance is $165 for 100 ml. I don't recall these being $165. Maybe there's some inflation right there, because last time I checked it was about $120. Okay, now if it was $120, I would have been like, sure, easy, no problem. But $165 is still kind of competitive, no? So in my opinion, get a sample first, maybe a 10 ml if you really foresee yourself wearing a mood enhancing summer fragrance throughout the summer. Maybe get a 10 ml from Jared Miller. I believe there's also like some travel decants that they have if you want to compare prices with Jared. But definitely, I would say that this to me is more like a 10 ml. Okay, I would get a full bottle if after the 10 ml I realize that, you know, this is something I wear all the time, that it might run out, and it's never ending, always summer where I'm at, you know, Philippines, Singapore, I don't know if India and Bangladesh is always hot, I don't know. But if it is, if it's hot over there all the time, definitely you might need that bigger bottle more than just the 10 ml. But like I said, this one right here is pretty simple. It's straightforward, Amalfi Coast, orangey, mood enhancing, you know. There's nothing really more, which is, you know, something that a lot of people like. You know, they don't like a lot of weird, like, you know, turns and, you know, really, you know, nice curveballs. They really do like straightforward fragrances. A lot of people do. So I would say that this is one of those fragrances, no doubt. And that is it. That is my no hype review on the latest Margiela Replica Never Ending Summer. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance right here. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was the performance good on you or not? I would like to know on the comments below. To me, like I said, no problems right here, even on the performance. Okay, and I will see you guys on the next video. I gotta say, I ordered a bunch of decants from our partners and friends and some other stuff that I bought. So guys, it's gonna be exciting. I'm back, guys. I know I was gone for quite a while, but I'm back right here with a lot of amazing fragrances to review. No hype, full breakdowns full breakdowns on every fragrance. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, support the channel, and I will see you guys on the next video. God bless, take care, peace.